Good evening and salutations, my GH fans. Jason and Anna. You know, this thing was interesting for a couple of different reasons, and I mentioned this before. I might have mentioned this in my live stream, or I might have mentioned this in my video. You look at the situation, and blame can be passed around. Carly feeding herself into this whole thing by dating, marrying, and being with a known mobster. Jason for spending 2 years trying to clean up Carly's mess, or Anna and her idiotic decision to give Valentine a heads up and withhold the evidence to a point when Jason came into office, the first thing he said was, Jonathan, if they're shipping you off somewhere. Because he think that I was the one that tipped off Valentine and I stalled for time. And that's on her, right? And during this scene, she kind of annoys me because she's like, well, do you think that you would have got far without me? I'm like, that's not the point. And you know that's not the point. And she deflects for a good couple of minutes until she admits, you know what, yeah, I did get you in this. I did get you in this predicament. But then she says something that's very interesting. And like I said this yesterday. She's like, what about you and Carly's, responsibility in this whole thing? Carly did her crimes. She chose to sit there and go out with an alleged mobster. Jason, you got bodies for days. We can sit there and say, well, these people were worse. Okay, fine. But at the end of the day, you got bodies for days. So, Anna's like, let's not sit there and put all of this on me. And she is 100% right. As much as I do not like the idiotic decision that she did for, giving Valentine a heads up and putting Jason in his position where, he has to sit there now to choose to protect Sonny or protect Carly or, both of them just go to jail. She's not wrong. And this is where we get to a point where I was just thinking about this as I was recording, or before I started recording, about how protecting Sonny can kind of be somewhat of a detriment to the show. Michael and Christina are talking about the custody case. And one of the things they sit there and say is, well, Sonny has his faults, but Ava's a lot worse. I don't necessarily know about that, but okay, whatever, fine. And Michael's like, I can't sit there and help him because, one, just me even sitting there talking to him about the possibilities of it going sideways if I'm being put on the stand sent him into a rage. Two, I'm not going to be able to help him. And then he's like, Christina, you can sit there and help. But the problem is, Christina's like, I saw Sonny beat Dex nearly to death. Everyone seems like they're going all out of their way. Hell, there's a point where even Carly, Sonny is they're asking Carly, hey, listen, could you smooth things over with Michael? And Carly's like, no, that's your job. You pushed everyone away to a point where you don't have any more allies. And it's like, how is Sonny going to sit there and win this custody battle? Being in the state that he is, pushing everyone away, and somehow I feel like the story is going to magically make sure that Sonny gets custody of Avery, even though damn well that he doesn't actually have as much allies as he thinks he does, and hell, even bringing Carly on the stand could backfire. But for them to sit there and just how I see it, award custody to Sonny if that happens would just be. I know it's a soap opera, but even by soap opera standards, it would seem a little unrealistic. Um, which, by the way, when Carly came to the door, at first Sonny was like, "Oh, what are you doing here?" And thinking that Michael pretty much told on me or whatever. Carly's like, "Oh well, John is going after you," and I'm like, "Well, that's kind of old news. I mean, he's always held a grudge, and she tries to tell Sonny not to sit there and do anything, but Sonny, one, is not fully his medication, and two, is just being Sonny." And as John said, all these people line up to sit there and try to protect Sonny, and they don't just protect Sonny. Anybody that will sit there and say anything against Sonny, they're automatically in the wrong. Speaking of John, Ava really knew how to play that victim role, and she played that to a T. I'm so scared of Sonny, and I don't want him to sit there and take my little girl away from me, and this, that, and the third. I'm like, well, it's not like you did kind of a bang up job with Kiki in her later years, so I don't know, bro. John is like, you need to give me something to put Sonny away and everything like that. But she's all like, no, I can't do it because I fear for my life. And I'm not saying that's not a possibility, but Ava, when I saw her, she was badass. When did she start being all like, oh my god, I don't? Well, I'm pretty sure you have some sort of context. Let's not sit there and try to act like you totally out the game. Anyway, she plays victim, and John has this hero complex, and next thing you know, they start kissing. But John gets a call from his superiors. See, after Jason left, it was like, you need to do whatever you can to help us out. Anna started making some calls, pretty much to John's boss at this point. Um, and then John leaves. He gets so upset. He comes in Anna's office, and Anna's like, "Yo, listen, you got to let Jason go right now, or like we, I'm going World War III on you at this point." And I get Anna wants to sit there and fix the mistake that she made, and she should. She really should because this portion is on her. But I'm like, also, I can see her point, and I think that's the problem. Yeah, she should have did what she should have did the right thing, but she only got put in that position because of the f ups that Jason and Carly has made over the years, and that is on them. And this is why I said in my membership or whatever, I was like, should Carly go to jail? Now Jason does go to Carly and tells him everything. Carly's like, you know what? Listen, I'm gonna turn myself in. Turn myself in at this point. And I know Jason could be like, well, I sacrificed 2 years. So this way you wouldn't have to go. Well, you know what? At this point, you tried. Maybe Carly should sit there and face the consequences of her actions. And I know people sit there and say, but Albert, she only did it to protect her family. Well, you know what? She married to a mobster. Okay, those are the type of things that happens when you make bad decisions. Then you try to make another decision to get out the bad decision, but you still made the first bad decision. And that's, of course, marrying Sonny 1, 2, 3, 4. I've lost count how many times. So, yeah, I'm not here for that. Not. Um, Now, the show kind of takes a bit of a detour to some extent, where Tracy is in a foul mood and the horse like bit her or whatever. And apparently it's supposed to be magical blood that I did not see. And Ned is coming out, and we find out that it's Luke's birthday, and she misses Luke because apparently Luke was the love of her life, which I really do not see that to this day. But whatever, fine. So she goes to apparently Luke's club and meets Sunny, and Sunny and her trade stories about Luke. Which I'm going to be honest was a very questionable character because of the things or the thing that he wound up doing, and we all know what I'm talking about, aka Laura. Um, but yeah, you have these two Smiths talking about like, oh, he was such a great man, which again, his death was just BS, and I'm always gonna sit there and stand by that by 10 toes. The way they killed him off for a quote unquote legendary character will never sit right with me ever. Tell you one thing though, Michael pretty much kind of predicting that he was like, the way that Sonny has been acting, he'd be lucky if he doesn't get a restraining order. And we all know that's what Scott planned on doing when Sonny gets on that stand. Is he's going to push his buttons. He's going to be extremely volatile. And even Diane is like, hey, listen, you got to listen. But of course, only do so much logic when you're either low or is empty on your bipolar medication, which he is. And I want to sit there and stress that because, yeah, it's like some people think that he's just making bad decisions just for the sake of, you know, him being sunny. And ordinarily, I would sit there and say yes, but this is under different circumstances. So, anyway, let me just double check, make sure I got everything. Yeah, I think that's about it. I can't think of anything else, but if I miss anything, write in the comment section. I want to thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.